The Supreme Court just handed Trump a victory, allowing him to restrict mail-in ballots ahead of the November midterms, because instead of trying to get ahead in the polls, he decided the easiest way to win was to make voting more difficult. At the White House today, Trump calls on all the children to follow him in to see the new helipad and ballroom construction, while RFK mentions elsewhere that the reason Trump hired him is his interest in children. Two stories that were otherwise completely unrelated, tied together by some very creepy remarks. While RFK Jr. spoke about fringe causes of autism, his iPhone stole the show with a claim of its own, because its ringtone was a quacking duck. Literally, RFK Jr. was called to quack by his own phone. AI is getting really good these days. Meanwhile, the White House comms team tries to hide Natalie Harp behind Trump at the Freedom 250 event, where it became apparent she was cropped out of the shot. Meanwhile, the internet argued over what Trump and Melania were discussing, but even stranger, people started asking, was that even Melania or Caitlyn Jenner? Canada has told Trump it will never become America's 51st state, as the Ontario premier threatened to cut off electricity to Republican states, while calling Trump a loser and a bully. Canada has apparently decided to fight a trade war with the one weapon America can't tariff, the light switch. Pete Hegseth made an offensive transphobic comment, sparking backlash, while he continues to advocate for gender-affirming care with his testosterone initiative. Meanwhile, he continues to cosplay as prima donna during his Marine Corps Grapevine dance routine. It's time for Breaking Absurdity. Everything you didn't know you needed to know today, but wish you hadn't. Let's kick things off with the latest Supreme Court ruling. The court handed Trump a victory today, allowing his administration to move forward with key portions of his March executive order restricting mail-in voting ahead of the November midterms. While the Supreme Court didn't rule that Trump's order is constitutional, it simply allowed a lower court's blocking of the order, while the broader legal fight continues. But this is still a significant victory for Trump, because now Trump can start doing what he's been arguing for all along, to make voting more difficult. The order seeks to impose new requirements on mail-in ballots, including creating a federal voting list, and this is happening just weeks before states begin sending out ballots for the midterms, which means election officials are now being asked to figure out how to comply with a brand new federal voting regime, while the courts are still deciding whether the president was allowed to create it in the first place. Because nothing says election integrity quite like changing the rules while the game is already underway. Meanwhile, at the White House, Trump decided to give a group of children a tour. And by tour, I mean he took them to see the construction site for his new ballroom and helipad.
Now, if anybody would like to walk with me, I don't know if Linda's going to have any big events happening now. I don't think so. But if you'd like to follow me, especially with the kids could see construction. I love the sound of construction. When I hear all that banging out there, some people say, oh, that's too bad. And I say, I love it. You know, so if anybody would like to follow me, it'll be a large group, but it's a large pad, and you'll be able to see some very hard-working people. They're working hard, and they're making a lot of money, and they're doing something great for America. And they've needed a heliport for many years here, and we're getting it all done. We're doing all the things that should have been done for years. So if you want to follow me with the children, I think it'll be very interesting. You'll bring your nice family, okay? Follow me. We'll come up here, and we'll walk down. Good. Thank you.
About 30 children and other guests were led around the White House grounds while Trump showed off the construction. I don't know what the traditional White House children's tour is like. I'm guessing it usually involves the Lincoln bedroom, the Oval Office, or his Walk of Fame. Trump apparently went with, kids, come look at the giant construction project. I'm just glad that families were allowed to attend along with the children. You'll find out why this next story is related in a second. Elsewhere, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was talking about children's health and explaining his relationship with Trump. And somehow, in the same news cycle, RFK Jr. described Trump's interest in children as one of the reasons he was hired.
I got into this job initially because of my interest in kids.
Two completely unrelated stories, when told next to each other, definitely serve to give you the ick. Maybe hold off on bringing the kids to DC until the next administration. And then RFK Jr. was spouting his usual unfounded and fringe beliefs about his favorite topic, autism. But then he was interrupted by a bird. I mean, a ringtone. Well, it was a ringtone of a duck, quacking.
We have a responsibility to do better on an autistic, sorry about that. When an autistic
Let me go over this again. There was a digital duck quacking from his pocket. Kennedy was announcing a new national alert initiative for missing autistic people when his phone decided it had something to say. And I have to give credit where credit's due. That phone has impeccable comedic timing. RFK Jr. spent the speech making controversial claims about autism, and his own iPhone responded, quack. AI is getting really good these days. Meanwhile, we've got another development in the increasingly strange Natalie Harp saga. At the Freedom 250 event, Natalie was there, except if you watch the official White House footage, you might not have known that, because she appears to have been cropped out. Then other footage emerged showing Harp standing directly behind Trump and Melania. The Daily Beast reported that Harp was selectively removed from official White House and First Lady social media content from the event, despite appearing in other footage and images. Now, obviously, we don't know who made the decision. Maybe it was innocent editing. Maybe someone thought the composition looked better. Maybe Natalie just happened to be standing in the exact part of the frame that somebody didn't want us to see. But after everything we've learned about the Trump-Harp-Melania triangle of proximity, the White House has apparently entered the Natalie Harp Witness Protection Program. And the internet noticed. Because there was another moment from the same event that generated an entirely different internet investigation. Trump and Melania appeared to be having what looked like a fairly animated conversation, and naturally, the internet immediately started to work out what they were saying. Was it about Natalie? Was it about the event? Was it Melania telling Trump to stop dancing? Or was the woman sitting next to Trump even Melania? Because for a brief period, social media became convinced that Trump was standing next to Caitlyn Jenner. I should stress it was Melania, probably. But this is what happens when you disappear from public life for weeks at a time. People start doing forensic analysis of your cheekbones, and then things got even stranger when reports emerged that Secret Service personnel instructed members of the film crew to stop recording during parts of the interaction.
I need the cameras off the president right now. Cameras off the president right now. Turn the cameras.
For the entire network, Fox, CNN,
I understand that. We've asked you to turn the cameras off of the presidential suite, and we'll be with you in a moment.
So we have a mysterious conversation, a camera crew being told to stop filming, an internet trying to identify the woman sitting next to the president, and Natalie Harp apparently being edited out of the official footage. With all these hiccups and embarrassments, I'm guessing Melania Watch will need to be reinstated later this week. And then there's Canada. Donald Trump has repeatedly talked about Canada becoming the 51st state. Canada's response, essentially, no. And Ontario Premier Doug Ford has now threatened to cut electricity exports to the United States if the trade war escalates. Ontario supplies electricity to several American states, and Ford said everything's on the table in retaliation.
We'll never be the 51st state. We'll do whatever it takes to protect our sovereignty. We're proud Canadians. And I'll tell you one thing, we'll wait it out for 2 years. We'll wait it out for 2 years, even if he lasts 2 years, but we'll wait it out. And hopefully they'll come to their senses when they see the pain he's putting on the American people. And we have to focus on the red states. And folks, I know up here, red is liberal, blue is conservative. It's opposite down there, just to explain to the people. The red states are Republican, blue are Democrat, but the red states, we're going to hit hard.
He also called Trump a loser and a bully.
Well, good. He can, something, I've been in this game a lot longer than he has. I got skin on me like an alligator. And you think an insult from him hurts me? Well, bring it on, buddy. I'm ready. Bring it on. You know something? I've dealt with guys like you my whole life. And guess what? You all become losers because you're a loser.
So Canada has apparently decided to fight a trade war with the one weapon America can't tariff: the light switch. Trump wanted Canada. Canada said, fine, we'll see how you like living without the lights. Hegseth has sparked backlash after using a transphobic slur during a speech in Iowa while defending the Trump administration's approach to the military.
It means no more DEI. It means no more trannies, just training.
His administration has also pursued sweeping restrictions on transgender service members and gender-affirming care. Meanwhile, Hegseth has become increasingly associated with his own particular form of military choreography. The Marine Corps Grapevine, a dance so aggressively heterosexual that I think it might actually qualify as a military exercise. I'm not saying Pete Hegseth should spend less time dancing, I'm just saying there may be a reason the Pentagon has classified this footage. And finally, we go to Australia. I decided to make this a regular installment because America doesn't have a monopoly on absurdity. Police in New South Wales were called after what appeared to be a woman's body was discovered inside a suitcase on the side of a road near Goulburn. Naturally, a crime scene was established, the suitcase was seized, forensics got involved, and then police discovered something slightly awkward.
But we can confirm that the remains found at Owallan Ford Road, Owallan yesterday, are now identified as not being human.
It wasn't a woman. It was a doll. An extremely realistic doll, apparently wearing clothes with hair, a nose piercing, and markings that looked like bruises and grazes. Police eventually confirmed they did not have a suspicious human death on their hands, which is good news, although I'm guessing somewhere in rural New South Wales, there is currently a doll missing, and the owner has some explaining to do. And there you have it, another day of Breaking Absurdity, your daily reminder that this is not normal. Be sure to like and subscribe to help me keep bringing you more daily absurdity. Please check out the video that pops up on screen and check out my playlist for more Breaking Absurdity.